Hey guys, it's Kirby from Blue Lust, and welcome back to the channel. So, I was scrolling through YouTube earlier, and I heard some things about the Nintendo Switch that really perturbed me. First off, have you seen the terms of service or conditions or whatever? They are trying to say they reserve the right to brick the hardware you paid for if you modify it in any way, which is fucking ridiculous. Oh my god. Um, when I buy a console, I enjoy being able to, homebrew some stuff on it. I don't like just, playing the base vanilla stuff. Sometimes I like to get a little bit of fancy software in there. Sometimes I like to get like a Pokemon save editor or something, especially for like the 3DS where, online services have ended for it. So the only way to like Pokebank anything is through using third-party apps like PKHex or PKSM, which, first and foremost, where does this company get off thinking they can just break your console because you did something with it they don't like? Like, as long as you're, this isn't even piracy related. This is just like simple frickin' homebrew. Which is just absolutely disgusting. Not to mention the fact that they are wanting to, they're not even going to be printing the games on the physical cartridges. No, they're just putting a software key on it, which you have to download the whole game offline, which, for us who, well, what's the point of that when, you can print a cartridge that fits the whole damn game on it. I thought it was getting bad with some of the Switch games like Mega Man Legacy Collections 1 and 2, which really could have just been one big game for $40. But they split it into like two halves, which sure, fine, fair. But like the fact that these are like NES, Super NES, nothing over like PlayStation sized games, and these things are tiny. I mean, these things are absolutely piddly in size. Yet they feel the need to make you download most of the game, which is just infuriating. And this is another good reason why I'm just not buying the Switch 2. I mean, it is just, from conception, it's just bad. I mean, it's just bad. And, I love Nintendo games as much as the next person, I grew up with a GameCube. I played a lot of Wii in my early 20s, late teens. I've had a Game Boy, a DS, a 3DS. Hell, I even had a Switch for a while. And, I'm not saying the Switch is a bad console. No, I think the Switch was a great console. I think it had a lot of hiccups. I think they really screwed the pooch on a lot of things. Like the fact that, the whole virtual console's gone. They switched it with a subscription service. Because, why let someone buy a game once when we can just milk them for a bunch of games they don't want every month? And some people say, yeah, but it's a bonus. Sure, but for people like me, I don't play games online much. I rarely play games online, and if I do, it's normally on my computer. Because, Nintendo's never had a track record for good wireless gaming, let's be honest. Outside of, like, the Pokemon games, which are turn-based RPGs, and even then it's kind of miffed sometimes. I mean, and it just baffles me, some of these decisions they're making. Like, I don't know. And, like, there's still, there hasn't been much, good third-party support announced. We still don't have a Madden on a Nintendo console since the 3DS. Which, that Madden is honestly a huge console seller for me. Like, ever since Dexit, Pokemon quit selling consoles to me. Like, I might pick up a Switch for Smash Ultimate. For Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. A few staples, but even then, I've got Smash 4 and Mario Kart 7 CTGP on my 3DS. Like, I'm not gonna be paying $90 for the new Mario Kart or whatever. I mean, that's just ridiculous, man. And, you're gonna have a bunch of people coming in and defending, like, oh, but, it's their right to charge that much. I would gladly spread open my butt for a Nintendo Switch 2. And it's infuriating. There are a lot of people out here who are literally going to lick the heel of this company and be like, consumer rights, what are those? It's so dumb. If I buy a console, I expect to be able to modify the thing. I expect to be able to do what I want with the hardware I paid for. It's like back when the PS3. PS3 had that whole thing with Linux and whatever, and Sony ended up losing a big court case over that. And I'm just wondering, and Nintendo, oh my god, they're trying to force the rights to arbitration. They are trying to do that in their terms of service. They're trying to keep it to where you can't, like, do a class action lawsuit, which is unreal to me. These guys have lost the plot. So, Nintendo used to be a refuge for gaming. Back in the early 80s, they resurrected the video game market after the Atari crash. And now they've become literally gaming Satan? Kind of. I mean, none of these companies are good. But right now, one's really showing their hand to Scummy. I mean, then I'm not going to say, Xbox is, completely innocent. Same with PlayStation. I'm still a firm believer of physical media. If I buy a game, I wanna own it. I don't wanna just have a license to, the software that can be shut down. It's like the whole Crew 2 thing. I hope Ubisoft loses that case because, the local files are still there. Just release a patch. Let us play the game past the online stuff. Like, when your base game doesn't even require you to be online to play the game, but you force it on there anyways, that's kind of feels like the same kind of vein of Scummy Nintendo's trying to pull. And, I'm not a Nintendo hater. Like I said, I love a good Mario game. I love, The Legend of Zelda. So many great games on these consoles. Super Mario RPG, the Paper Mario games, Mario and Luigi. Dragon Quest got its start on Nintendo. And then it just upsets me that these companies are just trying to, one, squeeze every nickel and dime out of you, and two, have such a tight grip around, trying to, tighten the leash so hard that it literally chokes you out on what you can do with your own hardware you paid for. And I hope, I don't know, I hope something happens to, rectify this. I don't know. I've lost a lot of trust for Nintendo. I don't think I'm going to buy the Switch 2 ever. Unless, a decade down the line when they finally cut online. So I can sit there and just modify it. I'm still playing on a 3DS most of the time. And that's fine. Most of what I play is, older Pokemon games for, the DS. 3DS, even some of the Game Boy stuff on that thing. And that's about all the Pokemon I play anymore. Especially after stuff like Dexit. And it's... I don't know. If I was you, I'd buy a PlayStation or an Xbox before I got a new Switch. Switch 2, or whatever it's called. You know, at least with the Xbox, you get the option for the developer key, which lets you, install stuff like RetroArch to your system. Really fun. I remember playing Donkey Kong on a Xbox One. It was a good time. And, stuff like Sony, I don't got much to say about Sony. I haven't really... The PS3 turned me off of them, and I just went to Xbox after that. But you get my point. It's just... It's infuriating. But, you know what? A little bit of lighter news before I end this. This video is, the B-roll for it is Madden 25, which is actually well optimized for PC. Like, this is no joke. This is actually a modern Madden that plays really smoothly. I'm able to record this gameplay and with OBS, and it's just nice. You know what? This is the upgrade gamers wanted. Not the Switch 2, but Madden 25. I picked it up on Steam sale. It should still be on sale when this video drops. It's like $15. Go treat yourself. So yeah, if anything, there's that. I don't know. This rant has just gotten a little out of hand. I don't know. I'm infuriated by, one, the price of all this trash. Two, the TOS is just ridiculous. Three, just not even giving us real physical cartridges. Just slapping a product key on it and creating e-waste is just absolutely disgraceful. And you know what? Yeah, no. Like I said last time, don't buy it. Let scalpers sit there with them. Let scalpers sit there with them and let them collect dust. Like, vote with your wallets, guys. And I know I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this video. So, if you liked it, give me a thumbs up. If you disliked it, give me a thumbs down. I live off engagement. Let me know what you guys think about the Switch 2 and all these scummy practices they're doing. Down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you like it. We're on the road to 500 subscribers. We are trying to get to that sweet, sweet monetization. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.